So what's a podcast going to do for our business if we're not going to get 50,000 downloads, listens, watches?
Well, I guess there is something like who says we're not going to get 50,000, but let's park that because there is an element of all of the algorithms involved in achieving that, isn't there? Yeah, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So come on then. So why are we doing it?
So for anyone who watched our video last week, we announced that we were starting a new podcast called The Digital Circus Live for our business. And we debunked the myth that everyone is doing a podcast because FYI, they're not.
Well, there's only 5 million podcasts in the world, which a couple of other stats. I always get this wrong. Is it like 8 billion people in the world?
Well, it's now 8, probably close to 9 these days.
I don't know. We'd have to check that. Can someone let us know in the comments what it is today? And the other element is, of course, not all 8 odd billion are going to want to listen to our podcast because we're a B2B service provider.
And we're Marmite.
You're Marmite. I'm not. But there are still 5 million businesses in the UK who this might be relevant to. And then obviously we're a global business, so extrapolate that out. Actually, I've forgotten something. I've absolutely forgotten something.
Oh.
Hello. Please do, if this is your first time here, even if it's not your first time here, but you're just not subscribed to our, you're back for good. Like
once you're back.
Once you're back for good, take that one. Said we met Mark Owen. That's a separate story once. And please do subscribe to our channel. If you would like to hear the story about the time we met Mark Owen for business, subscribe, leave a comment. We want to hear the Mark Owen story.
And for anyone who appreciates a full stop, I can only apologise for Alan and his...
What are full stops? No one needs full stops. Do we need full stops? Right, okay, let's back on track. Thank you.
So what is it going to do for our business, this podcast malarkey thing that seems to be like another thing to add to our ever-growing to-do list of stuff that is in our life? Alan?
Okay, let's start at the beginning for us and our business. So when you're sharing out content, we have a content strategy. We believe massively in content marketing as kind of our main model to bring people into our audience because, it's great having an audience in the community, but you still got to get the people in and you've got to allow them the opportunity to find you somehow, right? Like all audiences and communities could be paid ads. We tend to stick in organic because once you stop paying for ads, what then happens? So if you build organic ecosystems...
It's a whole different conversation you're taking right now. Let's get to where we're at.
So the point is we need a content strategy. So therefore, our podcast for the foreseeable future is our content strategy, and it will give us evergreen video, evergreen audio, social media, shorts, and as well as all the kind of networky, collaborative conversations that happen around it. So it gives us a direction and a purpose.
The networky, collaborative thing kind of conversations around it.
Yes.
That's a bit blasé. It's a massive collaboration project. So that's the second reason, collaboration with other people outside of our current audience.
It is. It's like I said that on purpose.
It's like you did. But we are working alongside the members of the Digital Circus membership in this, our community that we love being a part of. And each of those people are coming to have a conversation. So, this is in the first instance, the first season, if we do seasons, we carry it on, it's all about the members of the Digital Circus and what they've got to say. And by doing so, not only are we getting to dig right under the skin of what makes them tick and ultimately helping us to understand them and develop services and products that fit them better for what they need in their business right now, but also we are just fascinating by what's got them to where they are. So therefore, that collaboration part of it scratches an itch for us. Yeah. But we get to tap into their audiences too.
Yeah, wow, you've just kind of covered everything really quickly.
It's like you did.
Should we finish the video now? No. So hold on, we got to come back a little bit, right? So we are fascinated by life. Like we have been referred to as the kind of family bakery of SEO companies, although technically we're not an SEO company. And we like that because we want to prove that business can be fun and it doesn't need to be businessy. And hopefully that comes across in everything we do. That's really important to us. As Emily said, we want to add value to the members of the Digital Circus, the fabulous community we're a part of. And part of that is, let's do that. And part of the Digital Circus as a kind of online visibility focus, lots of buzzwords now, is their learning and development and experiences. So why not try themselves on our podcast, you know. So if they're thinking of guest podcasting or their own podcast as a strategy, come and have a play on ours first. It's absolutely
Come and
fine.
have a play. But that is really true.
Is.
We have been talking and teaching.
Do you just check your phone?
Sometimes there's
Sorry,
Do you know
everyone.
what?
Can you turn your phone over?
Hashtag real world.
Hashtag real world.
You know, we get 1,000 phone calls from the school every week, so sometimes I have to look down just in case it's not the
we
school
get
saying, "Can you pick
20,000
up?"
cold call messages.
Can you please pick up your children? Anyhow, in terms of best foot forward and leading by example and all that jazz, you know, we would love to be showing people the best way in which they can use content strategy properly in their business, utilize it in their short form, their long form, building out their ecosystem, and we can really showcase that as best practice as we do it with the members of the Digital Circus. But yes, also, as Alan says, not everyone's that confident. Everyone knows that they shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know, they should be doing things, but sometimes it's that I don't really know how to get started. So yeah, if they can piggyback off of what we're doing and we can support with content ideas and giving them a suite of shorts and snippets and blog post ideas to create, that just helps them step further forward as well.
Yeah, and that's really important. So then we get into the kind of, and we've talked about this, but a bit more like the suite of content. So not only do we get this, but the Digital Circus, and as Emily said, we're starting with the Digital Circus members. They're the lives we want to explore and find out more about because they're fascinating.
Aren't they though?
They really are. I don't think we can reiterate that enough. But we get a suite of content each to share out. And part of that is they get access to our audience, and we get access to their audience. And we're really big on this kind of winning together. And as we've said before, you know, we've stopped the Digital Circus Live. We're growing our audience. We want to focus on that. So why not tap into each other's? Because collaboration is almost one of those throwaway buzzwords in the small business world, but actually it's so much more important than that. The internet's literally built on connecting computers, so we should be connecting our accounts and our platforms as much as possible to bridge those gaps and build those audiences.
Human connection
In a digital world. We can't say online world because it just doesn't sound as good as in a digital world, but there we go.
Honestly, we are really, really, really blown away by this as a project already. We haven't even launched the podcast, but because we've had so many interviews just in the last couple of weeks, I think we're on episode 10 now, 11, 10 or 11, we can't stop talking about it. And this is why a lot of these videos in the next couple of weeks and months may be based around this as a theme, purely because they're just so bloody good in terms of conversation. And we won't do too many spoilers, but we've had people who are in their final career, who have transitioned into their final career in their 60s. We've had people who have been part of large corporations and are breaking out as freelance and how scary that is. We had people who are retraining later on in life. We've had people with childcare commitments, single parents. Honestly, the topics so far have been really
fascinating,
gritty and fascinating.
I love that. So we're going to wrap up. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And if you want to follow our adventure, we would love to share it with you. And that's not in a kind of preachy way, but that's in a let's go on an adventure together kind of style. And my last thing before we say goodbye is we are entering the summer holidays. If you would like to see episodes like this, but with our children to find out what they think about mummy and daddy and business and stuff like that, do let us know in the comments, okay? Just let us know if you'd like to hear from Ben, Joseph and Lydia Rose, our kids.
Of course they do. They don't want to hear from us.
No one cares about us. Even the grandparents definitely don't care. Who are you? Oh, the kids aren't in? Oh, no worries. Right, on that note.
Cheerio.
Bye.